Aliens had been watching Earth for decades, but no one knew it. Hidden in the vast stretches of space, their enormous ships floated silently, observing humanity with curiosity and suspicion. Earth seemed primitive to them, yet strangely dangerous. Reports from their scouts had warned, humans were unpredictable, small, fragile, and messy, yet capable of things the aliens could not easily understand. And that made them dangerous in a way that computers and weapons could not measure. It all began on a quiet morning. In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, a massive object pierced the water's surface like a silver knife. Scientists on a nearby research station rushed to capture footage. Military officials, always alert to anomalies, immediately classified the event. Nobody knew what it was, only that it was not from Earth. The alien ship, invisible to radar, had finally made a bold move. On the surface, humans were panicking. News reports described an enormous structure rising from the ocean, larger than any known aircraft carrier. It was smooth, dark, and metallic, reflecting the sun in sharp streaks. Ships surrounded it, trying to approach. Cameras from drones hovered closer, broadcasting live images to millions worldwide. Everyone could see it, yet no one could touch it. Inside the alien ship, the creatures studied human behavior. They were not like humans. Tall, with skin that shimmered in changing colors, they had multiple limbs and eyes that could see in complete darkness. Their voices were like music and warning sirens at the same time. But they were cautious, studying every human movement, every reaction, waiting for a chance to strike, or at least to understand. Meanwhile, a team of scientists, led by Dr. Aisha Khan, a specialist in extraterrestrial biology, was rushed to the scene. She stared at the massive alien craft, feeling a mixture of fear and awe. "They're intelligent," she whispered. "They're watching us, waiting." Her team set up sensors, recording devices, and communication equipment. They didn't know what to say or how to communicate, but they had to try. Back in space, the Alien Council debated. They had considered Earth unimportant for centuries, but recent reports of humanity's technological growth were alarming. And worse, their scouts reported strange human strategies, traps humans had set for other species in distant galaxies. The aliens had never faced anything like this before. They were used to prey they could crush immediately. But humans were tricky. The aliens decided to test humanity. They sent a small craft to hover above a desert in Nevada. Inside, a single alien observer, curious and cautious, watched as a human convoy approached. But this was no ordinary convoy. Military vehicles, drones, and soldiers moved in precision that surprised even the alien observer. Humans had prepared a display, but was it a trap or a greeting? On Earth, the public speculated endlessly. Conspiracy theorists, news channels, social media influencers, everyone had an opinion. Some believed it was a new military project. Others were sure it was an alien invasion. Governments remained silent, controlling information, while secretly scientists tried to figure out alien technology. No one had an answer, yet everyone waited, eyes on the sky, hearts racing. Suddenly, without warning, the alien craft descended near the convoy. The humans froze, unsure whether to run or attack. The alien observer activated a holographic interface, projecting a series of images: stars, strange planets, weapons, and warnings. Humans studied the display, trying to decipher meaning. It was a test, a puzzle meant to lure humanity into revealing something dangerous and brilliant. Dr. Khan noticed patterns in the hologram. She realized the aliens were testing human intelligence, trying to measure strategy and reaction. Her heart pounded. Humanity had faced enemies before, but nothing like this. "We have to respond carefully," she said. "One wrong move, and we might trigger a war we can't win." Yet even in fear, a strange confidence grew inside her. Humans were clever. Humans survived. And maybe, just maybe, humans were about to show the universe something it had never seen before. The tension stretched into hours. The aliens retreated slightly, hovering above the desert, observing. Humans analyzed, planned, and waited. In that quiet, between hope and fear, the first trap was being set. Not a trap of destruction, but a trap of strategy. Something that could change the way aliens saw humanity forever. And somewhere in the vastness of space, other alien scouts watched the events unfold on Earth. Their reports came in waves, frantic and confused. The humans, they're unpredictable. They are dangerous, but clever. It was the first time the Alien Council considered that maybe Earth was not the weak planet they had always thought. Maybe humanity had finally set the bait, and the aliens were about to fall for it. The desert was quiet, almost too quiet. The alien craft hovered like a shadow, scanning every movement, every tiny flicker of human activity. Inside the ship, the observers whispered in a language that sounded like wind through metal. They had expected fear, chaos, or surrender, but not this. Humans were calm, collected, and strangely confident. Dr. Khan and her team were busy, decoding the alien holograms. Each symbol, each color change, each pattern of light seemed like a puzzle. But slowly, a method began to emerge. "They are testing us," she said, pointing at the screen. "Not attacking, testing. They want to see what we do under pressure." The military was ready, but waiting. Soldiers lined up behind armored vehicles, drones hovering silently above, cameras recording every moment. They had been given strict orders: do not provoke, do not shoot first. This was not a battle of strength, it was a battle of minds. From space, the Alien Council watched closely. Reports from their scouts were filled with confusion and fascination. Humans were doing things no other species had done, coordinating complex maneuvers, communicating across devices with speed, and responding to alien signals with intelligence. The aliens had faced armies, fleets, and predators, but humans were unpredictable. Then it happened. A holographic projection from the alien ship began to change, displaying what looked like traps, mazes, and strange devices. Humans noticed immediately. "It's a challenge," said Dr. Khan. "They want to see if we can think faster than them." Her team worked feverishly, decoding each step. Every move mattered, every wrong step could endanger lives, or worse, provoke the aliens. The humans set their own plan in motion. Drones circled, sensors recorded the alien signals, and small decoy devices were placed around the desert. It was subtle. It was clever. It was a trap, not for destruction, but for information. Humans were luring the aliens into revealing their weaknesses. Inside the alien ship, the observers began to notice something unexpected. Their scans of human behavior showed patterns they could not predict. The humans anticipated moves, avoided obvious traps, and even used the environment, the desert itself, to confuse the aliens. "They are cleverer than we thought," one alien said, its voice tinged with disbelief. The first interaction ended without a single shot fired. The aliens retreated slightly, as if reconsidering their strategy. But humans were not done. Using signals captured from the alien hologram, Dr. Khan sent a small drone toward the craft, carrying a device that could mimic human behavior. The drone moved carefully, broadcasting signals that confused the aliens further. The aliens reacted immediately. Their ship shifted, scanning, probing, trying to understand what had just happened. They could not risk capturing the drone. It was a test, and they feared it might be a trap. In that moment, the aliens realized something important. Humans were not just clever, they were strategic. They set traps with subtlety, using intelligence as a weapon. In the control center back on Earth, the team celebrated quietly. They knew the aliens were learning, being manipulated without realizing it. Every human move was part of a larger plan, a strategy designed to show that Earth was not weak. That humans were dangerous, not because of brute force, but because of intelligence, creativity, and unpredictability. And the aliens began to admit, reluctantly, that they had underestimated humanity. Their reports now included words they had never used for any species: cunning, adaptive, brilliant. Humans were not just survivors. Humans were tacticians, thinkers, and engineers of danger disguised as harmlessness. As the sun set over the desert, the alien craft disappeared into the sky, leaving only a faint shimmer on the horizon. Humans watched, knowing that this was only the beginning. The trap had been set, the bait had been taken, and the game between species had just begun. Somewhere in the darkness of space, alien eyes recorded, calculated, and worried. Earth was no longer just a planet. Earth was a challenge, and humans had just started to show the universe their deadly brilliance. The desert was quiet once again, but not for long. The alien scouts, confused and curious, had returned. This time, they brought more than just observation. They came to investigate, to understand why humans were behaving so unpredictably. But humans were ready. Every movement, every signal, every tiny sound had been anticipated. Dr. Khan stood at the edge of the command center, eyes glued to the screens. "They're coming closer," she said calmly, though her heart raced. "This is it. Our trap is working." Her team monitored the alien ship as it hovered just above the desert, scanning, probing, and sending out holographic projections. Each projection tried to trick humans, but the humans were clever. They read the patterns, anticipated the moves, and countered every test. The aliens' confidence began to waver. They had never faced a species that could learn so quickly, adapt so efficiently, and manipulate situations so cleverly. Inside the alien ship, the observers whispered urgently. "They are not just surviving our tests, they are controlling them," one said, disbelief evident in its tone. Humans had set up decoys, fake signals, and false readings. Drones mimicked movements of human troops, sensors created illusions of power, and the desert itself was used as a weapon. Every element was part of a larger design. The aliens were falling for it, step by step, without realizing they were being outsmarted. Outside, military vehicles and scientists moved with precision. They did not attack. They did not show fear. Every action was calculated to guide the aliens exactly where humans wanted them. The aliens had the technology, the power, and the numbers, but humans had one advantage the aliens did not: creativity. The first phase of the trap unfolded perfectly. Alien drones were misled by fake signals, scanning empty areas while humans observed from safe distances. One alien scout tried to approach a human convoy but found it empty. Confused, it attempted to retreat, only to be met by another carefully placed signal. Humans were teaching the aliens a lesson, without firing a single weapon. Inside the alien council, panic began to rise. "These humans, they are dangerous," said one leader, its voice sharp and urgent. "Not because of their strength, but because of their mind. Every trap we set, they twist into something else. Every test, they reverse." The council had never encountered a species that could turn their own intelligence against them. Back on Earth, Dr. Khan smiled subtly. She knew the aliens were beginning to fall into the bait. They were following the path humans had designed, believing it was their plan. Humans were teaching the aliens how dangerous Earth could be, not through destruction, but through intellect. Every movement, every decision, every reaction was a statement. Humanity was clever, adaptive, and unpredictable. As night fell, the alien ship moved cautiously, sending signals, trying to understand why their plans were failing. But humans had prepared for this. Tiny devices scattered across the desert transmitted false data, guiding the aliens into the final stage of the trap. The suspense hung thick in the air. One wrong move by either side could spark chaos, but humans had calculated every possibility. In the calm before midnight, the alien scouts realized too late that they were being led. Their movements became hesitant, unsure. They had underestimated humans again. Every tactic, every strategy they had brought from countless galaxies was being neutralized, bent, or reversed. Humans were showing them that strength and technology alone could not dominate a species that thought differently, that planned creatively, and that could survive impossible situations. Dr. Khan looked at the screens, a mix of pride and tension in her eyes. "They're ours now," she whispered. "Not by force, but by intellect. We've shown them that humans are not just another species. We are a challenge. And now, they are learning it the hard way. The alien ship hovered above the desert, caught in the human-designed web. Slowly, carefully, it began to retreat, but the retreat was measured. They were not defeated yet. They were learning, calculating, trying to adapt. Humans had won the first battle of wits, but the war of intelligence was only beginning. And somewhere, deep in the stars, the alien council realized a terrifying truth. Earth was no ordinary planet, and humans were no ordinary creatures. The desert night was alive with tension. The alien ship had not left. It hovered silently, scanning the terrain, trying to detect hidden threats. But humans had already anticipated this. Every sensor, every movement, every sound had been carefully placed to mislead the aliens. It was a deadly game of minds. Dr. Khan watched as the alien ship shifted position, its lights scanning, probing, and sending signals that humans struggled to decode. "They're reacting," she said. "Not retreating, they're testing us aggressively now." Her team adjusted their devices, carefully sending back signals designed to confuse and mislead. The aliens were moving into a trap, but they didn't know it yet. Military vehicles and drones moved silently across the desert, almost like shadows. The humans did not attack directly. They only manipulated the environment, guiding the aliens into patterns that revealed weaknesses. Every action by the aliens was predicted, countered, and turned against them. It was intelligence as a weapon, and the humans wielded it with precision. Inside the alien ship, panic started to rise. Observers were confused. "They are adapting faster than we thought possible," one said. "Every plan we make, they twist into something new. They are dangerous." Alien leaders debated furiously. They had not expected strategy like this from a species they had always considered primitive. Humans were turning the test into a trap. Suddenly, the aliens made a bold move. A smaller craft descended closer to the desert, scanning the area aggressively. Humans held their positions, letting the alien come closer. Every device, every signal, every decoy had been positioned for this moment. The alien craft moved straight into the maze of false signals humans had prepared. It tried to dodge, but the patterns were too precise. Dr. Khan's team monitored the situation with bated breath. The alien craft was now confused, reacting unpredictably. Humans did not intervene with force, they didn't need to. Their intelligence and preparation were the weapons. Slowly, the alien craft began to understand that the humans had set the rules of engagement. Every move it made was anticipated. Every signal it sent was countered. Back on the ship, the alien observers realized the terrifying truth. Humans were not merely reacting, they were controlling the situation. Every aggression was absorbed, analyzed, and turned against them. They had entered a battle where raw power meant nothing. Humans had created an environment where intelligence and strategy dominated, and the aliens were trapped in their own assumptions. Dr. Khan allowed herself a brief smile. "They think they are in control," she whispered to her team. "But we've guided them exactly where we want." The team adjusted a few more devices, sending subtle signals that misled the alien craft even further. It was precise, almost surgical, and perfectly executed. The alien ship, unable to comprehend human tactics fully, retreated slightly but continued aggressive probing. Humans, calm and patient, used this to their advantage. They gathered more information about alien technology, their scanning patterns, and weaknesses. Every test, every movement, was feeding humanity a wealth of knowledge. Knowledge that could change the balance of power in the universe. Night turned into early morning. The desert was quiet again, but the tension remained. The alien craft hovered, cautious, confused, and increasingly respectful. Humans had not fired a single weapon, yet they had shown power that no alien had expected. The Council in space would remember this moment. Earth was no longer just a planet to observe. Humans were a force, unpredictable, clever, and deadly in ways that did not require traditional weapons. As dawn approached, Dr. Khan looked at the horizon, her eyes reflecting the rising sun. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "They will learn soon that humans are not just survivors. We are masters of strategy. And today, we proved it. The sun rose slowly over the desert, casting long shadows across the sand. The alien ship hovered cautiously, its massive form reflecting light in strange, shimmering patterns. Inside, the observers whispered urgently. "These humans, they are not what we expected," one said, voice trembling with a mix of awe and fear. "They are brilliant." Dr. Khan watched the ship from the command center, her eyes scanning screens full of alien signals. "They're starting to understand us," she said. "But it's too late. We've already set the stage for the final phase." Her team worked tirelessly, adjusting drones, sensors, and holographic projections to guide the aliens exactly where humans wanted them. Every device was part of a carefully designed web, invisible but deadly in its intelligence. The aliens tried to counter. They sent signals to disrupt human devices, projected confusing holograms, and even attempted direct communication. But humans were ready. They had studied every movement, every pattern, every weakness. Every alien attempt to assert control only played into humanity's hands. The aliens were learning, but too slowly. Outside, military vehicles moved silently, drones hovered like shadows, and scientists monitored every detail. No one panicked. No one fired a weapon. Humans were patient, calculating. They had turned fear into advantage, confusion into strategy, and the desert into a battlefield of intelligence. The Alien Council was growing anxious. "We underestimated them," a leader said. "Their intelligence, it surpasses expectation. Every action we take is countered or turned against us. They are dangerous beyond measure." Reports streamed in from scouts who had tried to engage humans in various ways. Every scout admitted the same truth: humans were unpredictable, strategic, and frighteningly clever. Dr. Khan activated the next phase of their plan. Tiny devices scattered across the desert emitted signals that the aliens could not ignore. These signals created illusions of human strength, presence, and traps. The aliens reacted immediately, moving their ship closer, trying to analyze what was happening. But the closer they came, the more they walked into the carefully designed human strategy. Humans watched patiently as the aliens fell for the bait. One small alien craft descended near the center of the trap, scanning and probing. Drones projected false images of human soldiers moving in precise formations. Sensors emitted decoy readings of heat, movement, and energy. The alien observers panicked. Every signal told them that humans were far stronger and more prepared than they had imagined. Inside the command center, Dr. Khan's team worked in harmony. "Every move is calculated," she said, her voice calm but intense. "We're not just surviving, they're learning our intelligence the hard way." She gestured at the screens showing alien reactions, each one moving exactly as predicted. "This is humanity's strength. We don't need to destroy to dominate. We just need to outthink them." The alien ship hesitated. Every attempt to act confidently only exposed them further. They had encountered civilizations that relied on brute force, on technology, on overwhelming power, but never a species that could use strategy so precisely. Humans were turning their own assumptions against them, proving that intelligence, patience, and creativity could be more deadly than any weapon. As midday approached, the desert seemed calm again, but tension crackled in the air. Humans had set the trap. Aliens were caught, realizing that Earth was not a weak planet, and humanity was not a simple species. They had been lured, tested, and outsmarted, not through strength, but through wit, cunning, and flawless execution. Dr. Khan looked at the alien ship hovering above the desert. "Today, we've done more than survive," she said softly. "We've shown them who we are. Humans are not just clever, we are masters of strategy. And they will remember this day forever." The desert was bathed in the golden glow of late afternoon. The alien ship hovered, massive and intimidating, yet now cautious, hesitant, and disoriented. Every signal it had sent, every tactic it had attempted, had been anticipated. Humanity had turned the situation entirely in its favor. Dr. Khan stood in the command center, eyes scanning multiple screens. Every device, drone, and sensor was working perfectly. "They're falling into the final trap," she said, her voice calm but full of excitement. Her team monitored alien movements, decoding signals and projecting countermeasures that the aliens could not ignore. Every calculation, every prediction was proving correct. The aliens tried to regain control. Small craft descended rapidly, scanning, probing, attempting to neutralize what they thought were human threats. But humans had anticipated these moves. Drones projected holographic soldiers, decoy devices created phantom heat signatures, and sensors emitted false energy readings. The alien ships were chasing illusions over and over again, unknowingly walking deeper into humanity's strategy. Inside the alien ship, panic and frustration grew. "They are controlling us," one observer shouted. "Every move we make is expected. Every signal we send is anticipated." The council in space grew tense as reports confirmed the same. Humans were not just surviving, they were dominating the encounter using nothing but intellect and strategy. Humans moved quietly but decisively. Military vehicles repositioned subtly, drones adjusted their patterns, and scientists monitored alien responses. Not a single weapon had fired, yet the humans had full control. They had turned fear into advantage, confusion into certainty, and the desert into a chessboard where every alien move was predicted and countered. The aliens realized too late that they had underestimated Earth. They had assumed humans were primitive, chaotic, and weak. But every attempt at intimidation, every advanced technology they deployed, was turned into data for humans to use. Every action only revealed more of their weaknesses. Dr. Khan allowed herself a small, satisfied smile. "They're learning the hard way," she said. "We've shown them that humans are not just survivors, we are masters of strategy. And this is only the beginning." The team adjusted the final sequences of devices, ensuring that the aliens were guided exactly where humans wanted. A small alien craft descended toward the desert floor, trying to scan what appeared to be a heavily fortified position. In reality, it was empty, a perfect illusion. Sensors emitted phantom readings, drones projected holographic formations, and every movement was perfectly timed. The aliens were trapped in their own assumptions, following the humans' plan without realizing it. The alien observers whispered nervously. "We cannot predict them," one said. "They anticipate everything, every signal, every movement. They are beyond our understanding." The realization hit the alien council hard. Humans were not just another species, they were an entirely new kind of threat. Not with weapons, but with minds capable of turning intelligence into a weapon more deadly than anything in the galaxy. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the desert, the alien ship finally paused. They were caught, hesitant and powerless, not because humans had attacked, but because humans had outthought them at every turn. Humanity had proven its brilliance, its creativity, and its unmatched strategic ability. Dr. Khan looked out at the desert, calm but triumphant. "Today," she said softly, "we've shown them what it means to face humanity. Not with force, but with intelligence. They will remember this. The universe will remember this. And humans will rise stronger than ever." The desert was quiet now, but the tension lingered in the air like a fading storm. The alien ship hovered one last time, its massive form gleaming in the moonlight. It was clear to the humans below that the aliens had made a choice: retreat. Slowly, carefully, the craft descended, moving back toward the stars. Every signal it emitted was cautious, measured, as if the aliens had finally understood the full extent of what humans were capable of. Dr. Khan and her team watched silently, their hearts racing. After days of strategy, calculation, and patience, humans had achieved something extraordinary. They had faced a species far more advanced, far stronger, and far more experienced, and yet they had emerged victorious, not through weapons or destruction, but through intellect, ingenuity, and foresight. The world below had been watching. News feeds, social media, and live broadcasts showed millions of people witnessing the alien retreat. Fear had turned into awe. Humanity had not just survived first contact, they had dominated it in a way that no one had imagined possible. Every nation, every scientist, every ordinary person understood that Earth had just proven its place in the galaxy. Humans were not weak. Humans were clever, resilient, and dangerous in ways the universe had never seen. Inside the Alien Council, the atmosphere was tense. "We underestimated them," one alien admitted. "Their minds, their strategy, it is unlike anything we have encountered. Earth is no longer a planet to ignore." Reports confirmed what the observers had already concluded. Humans had set traps, anticipated every move, and turned every action of the aliens into data to be used against them. Intelligence, patience, and creativity had become humanity's ultimate weapon. On Earth, Dr. Khan allowed herself a moment of quiet pride. The desert was calm, the alien ship gone, and humanity had proven its brilliance to the stars. "We didn't just survive," she whispered to her team. "We showed them who we are. Humans are not just survivors, we are masters of strategy, and the universe has taken notice." As the days passed, scientists studied the alien signals left behind, military analysts examined their tactics, and engineers tried to understand their technology. Humanity had gained knowledge, experience, and confidence. The world had united, even briefly, in the realization that humans were clever beyond imagination, capable of surviving and thriving against any odds. And somewhere in the distant reaches of space, alien scouts reported back, Earth was dangerous, intelligent, and unpredictable. Their council had learned an unforgettable lesson: never underestimate a species that could think, adapt, and outsmart them without ever firing a single weapon. Humanity had set the deadliest bait in the galaxy, and the aliens had fallen for it completely. The stars above Earth seemed brighter that night, as if acknowledging a new power in the cosmos. Humans had faced the unknown and emerged victorious, proving that intellect, strategy, and creativity were weapons stronger than any fleet, stronger than any weapon. Humanity had shown the universe its brilliance, and the message was clear: Earth was not a planet to fearlessly invade, and humans were not creatures to underestimate. Dr. Khan looked up at the night sky, a quiet smile on her face. "The universe has learned something today," she said softly. "And humanity has just begun to show its true strength." The desert lay silent again, but the story of Earth's brilliance echoed through the stars, a message of warning and awe. Humans had not just survived first contact, they had conquered it with minds sharper than any weapon, proving that intellect, patience, and ingenuity were the deadliest forces of all.